Soul Garden.
Having trouble in your love life? I have the answers. It's called Secrets of Birthdays, the Love and Lust Report. The biggest problem usually is people choose the wrong person. Not anymore. Find out your birthday secrets, available online at secretsofbirthdays.com.
It's a new reality.
Good morning. I'm out light walking in Brea, California, and this is your Monday, Labor Day, Namaste Today. Good morning and namaste, and welcome to Namaste Today. My name is Christopher Witecki. I'm a psychic astrologer and the Sensei to Serious Joy at your soul service. Thank you so much for logging in and light walking with me today. It is Monday, September 7th, 2015, and we are at what we call Labor Day in the United States. This is the one day we take off a year in honor of how much we work, which is kind of weird if you think about it. And really today is about some major spiritual labor. Today Venus goes direct, and we kind of move forward with our personal story. In fact, for the last 6 weeks, we've been going through what I call a Venus retrograde, or what is known as a Venus retrograde. I call it a blast from the past. It is kind of an opening up of a past life that brings us forward. Now, I've had many readings during this time, and many people have seen past life lovers, have exchanged with their first love or second love, have met childhood friends. I mean, everything I predicted, I am proud to say I see come forward. And what this has been people releasing from these stories, these hang-ups, moving on with life. Well, today that's exactly what will be. Today you are, in essence, coming to a determination in your mind about where your heart belongs. And where your heart belongs takes you then to the new ME-ality, takes you to what reality will be like. It forces the plot forward. And with Venus moving direct, you will be ready to receive from the new ME-ality. So we start receiving this week in the new ME-ality once we get back, and things take off pretty quickly. Also, Saturn will be moving into Sagittarius, and that means the new adventure begins. That means we're all pioneering a new kind of me-ligion. And I'll talk more about that on the site. And then lastly, I want to point out that I am walking through the 11 Steps to Serious Joy in my daily blogs right now. And today you'll find Step 4. Step 4 is I belong. And I didn't plan it this way, that we happen to be ready to go where we belong right when we learned the I belong, but it just worked out that way. So grateful to the universe for that. But be sure to go down to soulgarden.tv. Lots of people ask me, where can I read about the steps? I want to know more about the steps. Well, come on down. I'm going through them over the 11 broadcast days. So without further ado, let's dive in to my higher self and my guides and see what the universe has to say for us on this final day of Venus retrograde going direct. Those little kids playing and collecting frogs right now, if you don't know. Okay, so the first thing that actually comes up right away is the moon. Yes, and the moon is in Cancer. So today and through late yesterday, the moon moved into Cancer. That means we got very emotional, very passionate. And so there's a lot of emotion going on the planet. But the moon is crossing over Sirius right at this time of this printout. And I'm serious about that. Now, the fixed star Sirius is the revolutionary part of us. It's the part of us that seeks freedom. In fact, our country, the United States, was born with the sun conjuncting Sirius. I'm serious about that. Sirius is at step 13, and so this is today the time when the moon crosses that step, and I'll be sending out with text messages for those who are watched over in my personal Sensei service at when this is, but that's around the magical time that suddenly people will feel and desire to be independent. I've always heard stories of people suddenly getting up and walking out of a marriage, or just suddenly getting up and walking off of a war, or getting up and walking out of a game, and they're done forever. That's kind of what may happen today. If someone pushes you at like one of your picnics or something, or insults you, you may be done forever. And that is a legitimate done. That's what I want you to know, and that's what the guides are saying. And people keep doing something until they just no longer feel like it. And so you may find today with the moon in Cancer that you don't feel like certain things, and that is all pointing to the truth of where you really belong or don't belong. So the sun is at step 14. That's I love and I belong. And then you insert your blank. So You want to be clear by the time you go to bed, and I'll also be with texting people in my network a lot of this, like helping you hold space. But you want to be clear on where you belong. You don't have to know how you're going to get there. You don't have to know the details. Remember, the magic of ME-ality and of life itself is that you imagine it and it happens. All right? So don't try to control the happening part. Your job is the imagining part. And this is a powerful time to imagine. So don't be held back, they say. Okay. Mars is manifesting. He is so aggressively manifesting at step 19, Leo. So that means that anytime you take an action on something, it's becoming pretty much for reals. So in other words, it's one thing to think about calling your ex-girlfriend, but if you call her, it's for reals. It's one thing to think about, running through that red light, but if you run through the red light, it's for real. So keep in mind that people are full of tons and tons of millions and unlimited possibilities today as far as what your options can be. That's Jupiter flooding in, what degree at step 5, almost ready to go to step 6. So we have tons and tons of options of what way we can go. Keep it simple, kid. Where do you belong? Where does your heart belong? And only take action on the things your heart belongs. If your heart does not belong at the end of the day being a criminal or not belong, there's no such thing as just for a second right now. That's what they're saying. It's like that second creates reality. We are crystallizing our realities right now and making this new life happen. And so action pretty much is the key. I always make little jokes, that it's that when, the old natives, when they wanted to create rain, which I believe sincerely the native people did create rain. From what I'm understanding in my studies, highly evolved beings control their weather. All right? And it's not through technology. It's through collective conscious. And so I think when we were doing rain dances, I think our native chiefs in the old days knew how to do rain dances. But my little joke is, it's not a rain meditation. They did a rain dance. You have to put things into action to instigate reality to move forward. It's kind of like signing the check. And so today, realize that every action you take is moving things forward. So I myself will probably be standing at rest for most of the day on this day with my hands behind my back because I only want to put into action what is so. They're pointing me out to Chiron, which means that when you do take action, think of a golf swing, be at peace, don't race, don't rush. You're creating causes that will have profound effects now. And this is true even with other people. They just showed me someone at a party or something that said something too much to a little girl, so I don't know what that was, but this message is for you. Be careful what you tell people, folks. It can have a lifetime effect. Ask your heart before you do something. Your heart will tell you if it's appropriate or not just for yourself, but for both parties. As a psychic, I receive information all the time that my guides tell me don't tell the client. And you might go, what? And they're just telling me stuff so that I can be more compassionate and loving. The client, first of all, the client's on their own job. They're here to manifest their own life. And when we spoil the end of the movie for them, it's not always the most fun. So that's one of the things. And the other thing is, sometimes people can have a lasting effect when they really were just wanting to steal attention in the moment. So be careful, they're saying, of the actions, including speaking up and what you say to who right now, because the impressions are indelible. Yeah, so Venus is going direct this week, and this means that we will be, when we come back to, quote, work tomorrow in the United States, or we continue with the grind in Europe, we are actually now moving forward with concrete, like visible, understandable, practical business of moving forward. And of course, if you check your zodiac weather on my website, I'll be talking about where each of the 12 step families will be moving forward. But this is going to be a week of getting a lot done. So I highly recommend that you don't stay at the party too long on Monday night, because we are kicking it into gear big time. When Jupiter moves into step 6, the first kind of delivery packages, the first storks, if you will, from God Universe start to arrive this week, which means people who are focused will have a lot of good, fascinating, life-changing news coming in right away. And the last thing they want to bring up actually is Uranus at step 19 in Aries. And this is defining the new man. Now, we are creating what man is, and man reinvents man's self, with many planets, but Uranus is one that really does take it up. Uranus is the innovation. So what they're saying is, particularly for men out there, but also for women like Hillary Clinton, who are kind of, she is a woman who is tempering the man inside of her, so I don't think anyone gets out of this particular race, if you will. But recognize that there are no role models on the earth as to how to be a great man of the future. Even myself, look around and see pieces of different men that I admire. But I think when it comes to what a cool male energy is, this is all up to our interpretation. And you, my friend, are setting that precedent. So when you do take action to do your rain dance, it's not just that you're dancing to bring rain. It's that you are reinventing what it is to be male, or what it is to take action on the planet. And that might be more conscious, more compassionate action. So allow yourself to go take the highest high. Allow yourself to take the high road. And allow yourself to reinvent the way it's done in the first place. You may be out there and alone at first, but you'll find that you are leading the pack. All right, I think that's it. Think integrity is the last thing they say. Stay in integrity. Integrity, if you don't know, is knowing who you are inside and allowing that to be shining outside. All right, my friends, I will see you tomorrow when business gets started. I love you. I am so grateful to light walk with you. And come on down and check out my website at soulgarden.tv. I'm going to go ahead and make a little announcement right now on this holiday weekend. In doing my own meditation, I have decided that in this coming year, I'm going to be getting an RV, a recreational vehicle, and I'm going to be touring across the country, as I've said, to meet my viewers. But I believe now I'm going to be following around Bernie Sanders. I think I'm going to go around following Bernie Sanders. So if anyone wants to join me or meet up wherever Bernie Sanders happens to be, I'm going to be following that political trail, mostly because I feel I'm going to meet the most like-minded souls, and I want to meet people who believe and live in their heart also. So anyone who's on board that train, I'm hoping to do a Grateful Dead kind of thing where we're all just camping and following the light. I'm just putting out there and starting, and I'm calling it the Electric Lightwalker Parade, and it begins this fall. More details coming up on my website. Be sure to register. You'll find out first if you're a registered member. All right, friends. Hope to see you in the Lightwalker Parade, and I will see you, of course, tomorrow with more. Until then, live in your heart, belong where you belong, and live, love, be.